Welcome back to Fall, Day 10 and 11 of the Stardew Valley Min-Max and 100% Perfection Guide. Last time, we unlocked the greenhouse by completing all the pantry bundles in the community center, and now we are ready to begin setting up our greenhouse, which we will do over these 2 days. We're also going to make some progress on our tree farm and do some foraging and wood collecting, as we really need to start making more kegs. We'll also be giving out lots of gifts as we go all over the map, completing the wide assortment of tasks. Let's get started with day 10 of fall. Today was a super bad luck day, but that's alright. We're not going to be doing anything that relies on luck too heavily. Mainly just some foraging, working on our tree farm, doing farm chores, and all of that good stuff. And speaking of the tree farm, we do need to make more tappers. We need tons of more oak resin for all of the kegs we want to craft, so I will craft some of those. I'm going to turn on the show advanced crafting information real quick, and basically all that does is it shows you how many times you've crafted something, so that'll be especially useful way later down the line when we want to craft one of everything for the master crafter perfection goal, and same with the cooking every item. Before we leave our farm today, we are going to get some ores smelting. I'm going to keep smelting iridium ore since it is our main source of money right now. Obviously way down the line we're going to sell all of that starfruit wine, but that's going to be a big chunk of gold which we'll likely use for the obelisks and the gold clock. For now, for all of the immediate things we need right now, we're selling our iridium bars because we don't even have the starfruit wine yet. We need to make a bunch of more kegs and process all of that starfruit into wine before it actually becomes sellable for us. I did craft a few fall forageable seeds, and I'm just gonna plant them on this miniature field right here just so we can get a little bit more of fall forageables just in case we need them for any reason. Again, I think it's always nice to have some of everything on hand just because sometimes the special quests come up that needs them, or if we need to cook any items. A lot of the crops and stuff are used in recipes. So I did place down that seed maker that we got from Skull Cavern that one time, and I'm putting in the ancient fruit because we want to start reproducing our ancient fruit just to get a lot more of it so we can eventually plant it if I want to. I'm probably going to end up using most of the greenhouse space as well as Ginger Island once we unlock that for starfruit. So I don't know how useful ancient fruit really is for us, but I do want to have enough because eventually we'll need 5 gold star ancient fruit for the missing bundle. So I will be trying to get a few more ancient fruit seeds, and I'll be planting them in the greenhouse just so we can start getting on that. I'm gonna harvest the amaranth and wheat here, and I guess I'm replanting it with yams. I'm not sure why I go a little bit overkill on the yams and just plant a bunch of them. I guess I thought it was good because gold star yams we can give to Linus, but he also loves coconuts, which we can get iridium quality of coconuts once we reach foraging level 10. Of course, technically we could way later get iridium quality yams and other crops once we unlock the top tier fertilizer, forget what it's called. But by then we're gonna have Linus at 10 hearts pretty much guaranteed. So I am gonna start setting up our greenhouse just by placing all of our fruit trees. This is the pretty standard pattern. You place them 2 tiles away. You can fit a total of 18 trees in here, and since there's 6 varieties, I'm just gonna do 3 of each. Eventually, once we get the Ginger Island, I'll just plant banana and mango trees on the actual Ginger Island rather than in the greenhouse, so we'll stick to just 3 of each for now, just to have them there. And what's nice about putting the trees in that pattern is it doesn't disturb any of the potential farm plot space that you could use. So after all of those farm chores, we are gonna head up north, and it looks like we are met with a cutscene. And this is of course because once we completed the fish tank bundles, all of that, the Junimos got rid of that glistening boulder that was there, and Willie's explaining to us that this unlocks panning for us those little sparkles in the water, we can now use our copper pan on them, and we'll most likely get some ores. But we can also sometimes get some more useful things like rings, and I think you could even get a lucky ring from panning, very rarely, so who knows, maybe it'll come in use. And especially later in Ginger Island, by the dig site, we need to pan for one of the fossils there, so we'll need to use it mainly just for that, for perfection at the very least. We've now arrived at our tree farm, and we placed down all of our tappers on our oak trees. We still definitely need more oak trees to grow and more tappers to place on them, but for now, this is a little bit of an improvement. Now I'm going to eat that autumn's bounty and start chopping some wood, because not only do kegs need oak resin, iron bar, and copper bar, but they also need 30 wood, and that adds up quickly. And even so, the tappers themselves need wood, and pretty much there are so many crafting items that need wood, so it is never a bad idea to have plenty of wood. And of course, if we really wanted, we could buy some wood from Robin. Speaking of Robin, her husband Demetrius is here. We're just gonna give him an ice cream because we are gonna do a little gift giving today. And after chopping all those trees, collecting the blackberries, it is blackberry season, so as we go along across the map, we are gonna try to harvest those just because, you know, they're there. Why not get some free items? And we've made our way down here to the special quests board. I'm going to pick the Aquatic Overpopulation, Demetrius's quest, which will unlock us the farm computer. Gus would have just given us a mini fridge, which both of them aren't really useful too much for us, but I kind of like the farm computer. It's kind of cool in my opinion, so I went with that. Also because we can buy a mini fridge if we really wanted to. We are now at Clint's, and I'm going to sell all of the iridium bars, and I'm actually going to buy some coal. And it's really tough to know for sure, but it's probably more worth my time to just buy coal rather than spend time going into the regular mines farming dust sprites for it. So I do buy 350 coal, and hopefully this will last us a bit. We're going to now head over to the South Woods area and continue chopping trees. And the same thing about the coal could potentially have been said for wood. Maybe it would have been more worth our time to buy wood from Robin, but I do think it's a little bit faster, especially with a foraging bonus like we do have from the Autumn's Bounty. And at the same time, it's blackberry season, so we might as well pick those as well. So I do think it is a good use of our time to spend foraging right now, chopping down trees and all that, especially because we want to get that foraging XP up and reach foraging level 10. I do believe we reach foraging level 9 tonight. So we do have a little bit of a ways to go. Now, of course, level 9 to 10 is the biggest gap, but we're almost there. We're going to just chop down all of the trees here as they do regrow back without having to plant them. And of course, we're going to hit up the secret woods for that foraging XP and the hardwood. And I think I forgot to mention this, but that quest we did pick up from the special orders board, Demetrius's quest, we do have to catch 10 albacore for that. You can see right there. It's a bit late now, but we will spend a little bit of time fishing for those albacore tonight. And if we don't catch them all tonight, we'll finish that up tomorrow to complete that quest. Before we do head to the ocean though, we're gonna make a stop back at the farm and put away all of our stuff that we don't need. I'm gonna make a couple dressed spinners so we can get bites more frequently. And I'm also gonna make a crab pot to place down there as we still wanna get a lobster and shrimp, I'm not sure what else, in order to catch every fish, which we'll wanna do eventually. And then we're pretty much just gonna spend the rest of the night fishing and trying to get some albacores. So I'm gonna skip past this. We're gonna go until we pass out. I was able to catch 3 super cucumbers, so that's cool. And we did reach level 9 foraging. And I sold some of those valuable items we get from artifact troves like the pearl and treasure chest to get a bit of extra money. And what we're gonna use that for mainly is deluxe speed grow. and starfruit seeds for our greenhouse, and we'll get to that today on day 11 of fall. So yesterday we did only catch 5 out of the 10 albacore that we need, so at some point today, probably late tonight, we will have to catch the rest of those albacore. We do have a few more days, but I don't want to delay the quest for too long. I just kind of want to get it done and over with. So we're going to just tend to the farm chores real quick here, get our stuff smelting, and any random seeds that have grown, looks like a bunch of beets have grown, I'm just going to replace them with some fall foraging seeds. And I am going to be cycling a bunch of copper and probably some iron later, just because the copper is used in those tappers, and copper and iron are both used in the kegs, so we do need to start stocking up on both metals. And then after a bit of organizing, we just have our eggplants left to harvest right there, and then we can finally head into our greenhouse and start setting it up for crops to be planted. I do want to mainly put starfruit in here, but also the ancient fruit, and I do want some strawberries. I want to start growing some strawberries just to have those as well. But of course, before anything can be planted, we do need to hoe everything and water everything. The watering isn't necessary as much since we can just place the sprinklers and they'll get watered the next day, so it is arguable whether or not this was a good use of my time or not, but I did go ahead and water everything just so they start growing tonight. Before we pick up the deluxe speed grow and seeds from Sandy, I will collect the maple syrup here and give Pam a gift, and I'm gonna head over to this road area, collect the blackberries, and grab Linus's berry basket. That was a quest to give it back to him, so we'll do that at some point. And I'm gonna head over to Clint's, give him a gift, and then sell some iridium, and I'm probably gonna upgrade a tool. I choose the iridium hoe. It'll be most useful to have that as opposed to like the iridium watering can and of course the trash can. We'll get all of those eventually, but for now, iridium hoe. Also, since we just used it hoeing our greenhouse, we won't need it anymore for the next few days, that is. And so we have arrived at Sandy's. I'm gonna buy enough deluxe speed grow to cover the whole greenhouse and a bunch of starfruit seeds. I'll also buy some rhubarb seeds just because we don't have that yet, so we can grow them, why not? And then of course I have the 7 ancient fruit seeds and 3 strawberry seeds that I'll plant in the greenhouse, and then once we grow them, start multiplying them. And real quick, I had remembered to bring the solar essence to drop in the sand dragon tooth, or whatever Mr. Key says in his little note. And of course, since it is a Thursday, I picked up a magic rock candy. We want to make sure we pick up those every Thursday since we can only get 1 per week. We're now back at the greenhouse. I'm going to place the iridium sprinklers. We do need 6 of them to cover all of the area, and placing them like this, 2 of them off to the side where we can't grow crops, is the most optimal to utilize our space as of now. Once we get the pressure nozzles, we can change it up just a little bit to only need, if we really want, we'd only need 1 iridium sprinkler if we place a bunch of them along the edges. But we'll worry about that when the time comes. For now, we're going to plant our ancient fruit seeds, our strawberry seeds, our rhubarbs, and then fill the rest with starfruit seeds. And we do have 100 of them, so the greenhouse, we can grow whatever crop we want at whatever time, so we can have a nice steady supply of starfruit. We could get over 100 every 9 days if we really wanted to with the greenhouse, so we will keep growing those. And now we're pretty much done setting up the greenhouse, so we are gonna head out to town now. We're gonna take a big trip all around town, giving out gifts again, and I'm gonna stop at Marnie's, and while I'm here, I'm gonna buy 2 rabbits for our coop, since we didn't actually buy any rabbits yet. And I'm also gonna buy a couple of heaters for when winter comes, and then I'll give her a pink cake and Jazz a fairy rose. Both are loved gifts. After Marnie's, we'll head on over to Pelican Town, we're gonna grab the blackberries along the way since it is blackberry season, and then give Jody a diamond, the most important gift for the day since it is her birthday. Then we have a grape for Vincent. Then we're gonna head on over to Evelyn. We're gonna give her one of our many beets, and then we'll head on up to Sam, who will pass by. We'll give him a cactus fruit. Both of these were loved gifts. Then we'll head on into Pierre's to continue giving gifts. I will give out just some beets to Caroline and Pierre since they both have vegetables as a liked gift. And while we're here, I'm gonna buy something from Pierre. That 50,000 G I have just sitting there, I didn't use it all on the seeds, so I'm just gonna start stocking up on some stuff for my fridge because eventually we're gonna want to start cooking random stuff. So it is nice to just have a bunch of random ingredients, and again, for some reason, I really like the yams. I don't know why I keep buying yam seeds. Fairy roses are a little bit more useful. Eventually we'll be able to craft them into the fairy dust, and I am going to use that 30,000 G I have left to buy the catalog. We can start decorating our house if we really want to. And we did give Elliot a gift real quick, and then Alex. And something I forgot to mention about Elliot is we did sort of miss his birthday. So I did not miss his birthday on accident. It was actually purposefully, and this was because it was a rainy day. And Elliot actually, in the fall, under whatever circumstances it was that day, he did not come out of his shack, and we didn't have 2 hearts with him, so we couldn't even enter it. So there was no way we could have given him a birthday gift unless we rolled back a day, but of course I'd try to not do that unless I really have to, and of course Elliot probably isn't a justified enough reason, at least at the time it wasn't for me. He is a little bit harder to level up since we don't see him as often. He usually spends his time in the library or in his shack, so we might have to put a little bit of extra effort into leveling up friendship with him. We do have pomegranates now, so we can just keep giving him those. But anyways, we're back at the farm, and I do want to craft a fried egg and a maki roll now for the community center bundle. Of course, the fried egg is easy, it's just an egg. The maki roll does need a seaweed, so I have to run back outside, go into my chest here, grab a seaweed, and we can go back to our kitchen, craft a maki roll. Now we have everything to complete the chef's bundle at the community center. But of course, no reason to do that now. We'll drop those off at a later day when we have other things we need to complete the bundles. And for now, we're gonna head down, chop some more trees. I am gonna skip over chopping down trees in the secret woods and outside the secret woods. And now we're gonna head down to the beach and finish catching the albacore we still need to catch. We still need to catch 5 for Demetrius' special orders quest, so we'll start doing that. And of course, we'll skip over the fishing, and we're here. We've got a super cucumber, and let's see. I think we've got our last albacore here, and you heard the ding. We finished that quest, Aquatic Overpopulation. Of course, we don't want to claim that G right now since we'll probably be passing out. Don't want to lose that precious G. And since we didn't use the whole night, we do have a little bit of time left. I'm going to head on back over to the farm. And it looks like we're first met with a cutscene. And this is actually Linus's 0 heart cutscene. You only need 50 friendship points with him to trigger this. And you just have to enter the Pelican Town between 8 p.m. and 12 a.m. as long as it's not raining. And it has to be after spring 7 of year 1. Linus is going through George's trash can, and George tells us to go check it out. So when we do go over, we are given some dialogue options, and no matter what we say to Linus, it does not affect our friendship points with him, so feel free to tell him whatever you want. And no matter what happens, he still continues digging through the trash. And Gus spots him, feels bad for him, offers him some food, and that's about that with that cutscene. We are pretty much at the end of the day now. We're just gonna finish it off by heading back to the farm, and getting our things organized, maybe smelt some ore, and we'll fill up our inventory with anything we will want to take to Skull Cavern, as I have no idea what the luck will be tomorrow, but if it happens to be super luck, I want to have all of the items I need with me so we can just warp from our bed immediately to the desert and get as early as a start as possible. So we'll see what happens next time, but for now, we have reached the end of this day and video. We'll keep working on our tree farm and crafting kegs, and of course Skull Cavern dives and whatever other material gathering we need to do. And then of course the big day is almost here, which is fall 21, when we can complete the community center. So if you're looking forward to that, please consider subscribing, and as always, feel free to leave a comment with what you liked or with any suggestions or questions, and perhaps also comment any Stardew NPC gift giving advice or any tips you have to get the townsfolk friendship points up as fast as possible. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.